Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 63 of the Showbound podcast. I'm your host, Ethan Cardwell, joined today by NFT superstar Michael Raskin. Rask, how you been?
There's an intro. Well, first of all, just flip it on the fans with you kicking off the podcast first time in 63 episodes. So, or have you done it once before? I think that's the first time.
But a couple clicks.
Yeah, a couple clicks. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, I went up north for the weekend with a couple buddies, and it was like a no phones, no laptops type of thing, like no nothing. And I'd never done that before, and it was kind of nice, get away from everything. Like I'm always on my phone, man. It was crazy. Even just being there, I was like, oh my God, like I miss my phone. And it was good, like going 2 days or whatever without it, because by the end it was like relaxing. But like it's hard, it's hard, man. But it was kind of cool. Have you ever done anything like that?
Can't say I have. I mean, like maybe when you go to like a cottage or like you have bad service and you're just like, yeah, you know what, like I'm done with it. Like I'm not gonna bother. There's no point. But no, I actually like a lot because like people these days, like including ourselves, you just get so wound up in social media and everything online, and just like you see so many things a day online that you just like you're not even like thinking, you're just like seeing stuff now. You're not even thinking about your own thoughts and stuff like that. So I feel like to reset like that and just like to be able to like connect with your boys a little bit, like because you go to like you hang it, like I don't even know, like especially like the younger generation, like I've noticed this with like I don't know, like younger kids that I know, like cousins, stuff like that. You just like rely on their phone so much. Like you'd hang out with somebody and everyone's just like looking down at their phone rather than talking.
Yeah, it's exactly like that. And I'm like that too, man. I mean, not like when I'm present around people, I can be present, but I always have my phone on me, always. And I'm always checking it. If there's nothing to do for a couple seconds, like you open your phone, like you're checking Twitter, checking Instagram, and it's just it was nice. We did like couple hour long snowshoe hike up this hill into like these ice cave things and like around the lake, playing shinny on the lake till like 3 a.m, dude. Like, a couple beers like with the boys. It was a good time. But like I know you've do you want to talk about you have COVID? Can I just drop that?
Yeah. I feel like it won't be any surprise to people when they hear you can hear my voice. It's a little bit off, but I'm on day 5 of my quarantine. So I'm actually like, I wasn't feeling great. I know we discussed that a little bit, but now I'm feeling like much better. Just a little stuffed up. So hopefully tomorrow my symptoms are gone and we can start moving along. But no, it's been crazy. Yeah, I just kind of went into the rink, tested positive, and then came back to my hometown of Curtis so I can get out of my billet's hair. So wasn't a hassle for them, and just been isolating in my basement here. But no, it's been good. Just a bunch of working out and Netflix, and I don't know, just trying to keep busy any way I can.
Yeah. And I've been dying to tell the listeners this, and I told all my friends, my family, but I won another week of free coffee on the Tim's app. I sent you the picture this morning. I'm fired up, man. I'm going to get it on the way to the rink. I'm going to get it on the way back from the rink. I might get one before bed. Like, who knows, man? I'm going to abuse it. But I was so fired up. And man, so like we were talking about the Leafs game last night, and when it was Matthews' goal that clinched it for me. But the first goal that Matthews scored, Nylander got credit for. I don't know if you were watching the game, but Nylander scored the goal. And normally they correct goals really quickly. But it was like 20 minutes later, and I saw Matthews scored. I was like, why have they not changed the goal? Because I was freaking out that he wasn't going to get another. I was just like flipping it over here, and then they corrected the goal, and then he ended up scoring another one anyway. But yeah, so it's just, that's an absolute rush, man. 7 days of free coffee, as many as I want. So just been fired up over here.
That's unbelievable. That's like, oh, I couldn't even imagine, because I'm a big Tim's guy too. Before like every game, before every practice, like stop at Tim's. So I might have to hop on that bandwagon. I know my mom plays that game quite a bit too. She's actually not bad at it either. So I'm gonna have to hop in.
Yeah, I mean, this might as well just be a Tim's ad, but you might as well get the app, because even if you don't win the 7 days of free coffee, you win like Tim's points when you get right picks, and then you can get free coffees anyway through that. So like,
yeah, that'd be nice.
I mean, just huge plug for Tim's here. But anyway, maybe we'll send this and ask for some money. But Did you get to watch the All-Star game? Because I didn't, because I was gone that weekend. That was when I had no like anything. So I don't know anything of what happened.
It was like I think the Metro won, but man, like it's 3-on-3 as you know, and like they don't try at all. Like it's pretty bad to be honest.
Yeah.
Like it's just like I feel bad. Like, and the crowd wasn't even like sold out. I'm not sure if that was COVID mandates. I doubt it in Vegas, but I just feel bad for like the people who pay like a lot of money like to actually go see the players, and then it's just kind of like I don't even know. It's like below like
Like a
shitty level.
public skate.
Yeah, they're just cruising around. Like it's pretty cool for like the fans to go and see all of them and like see them at the skills competition and stuff. But like I feel like they need to do something to spice up the games or give it a little bit more life, you know? And this year there's so many like first year guys. Like I feel like the guys who it's their first year, they don't know how hard to go in the games. So they're almost like going too light to like cater to the older guys, you know?
Yeah,
Like
you make a good point. Yeah. And we kind of talked about this last podcast in terms of ways they can spice it up, but I don't know. It is like, and you hear it every year, like you see it on Twitter and stuff. It becomes a bit of a disappointment. And the skills competition is cool. I like that. Not that I got to watch it this year, but that's always fun. And the game has just been a letdown, man. I don't know. It's not entertaining anymore.
bro, you want to talk about that? Like the NFL Pro Bowl. So it's like the All-Star game at the end of the year for all the NFL players. It's like now it's two-hand touch, but like if somebody touches a guy, like sometimes they just let it happen and he runs and stuff. And it
Oh,
it
yeah.
was it was like brutal. Like, and there was another one. So like if you get scored against or something, you do like a 4th and 15 to keep the ball. And then the other team ends up getting it at like the 20-yard line. Like it's just a massacre out there. Like they got to do something about that game too, because that was just like I couldn't even believe what I was watching.
Yeah. And I imagine the two teams in the Super Bowl, they don't have any other guys going to play, right?
No, exactly.
So maybe why wouldn't they just do it like a week after or something? I don't know. Get the guys who are the best, the most hyped at the time.
Yeah, I guess. But then I think it's just because like the NFL has so much hype leading up to the Super Bowl, and it gives the NFL like 2 weeks to have the Super Bowl. So it gives the players 2 weeks to do media, 2 weeks to get ready.
Yeah.
And then they carry all this momentum from the playoffs. They plug in their All-Star game too in that week off, which definitely like drives revenue way up. So that's probably the reason they do it.
Yeah, after I said it out loud, I realized you lose interest after the Super Bowl anyway, so it makes sense.
Right.
Now, I mean, let's address your suspension, I guess, right? Like go right at it. Do you want to just talk about that?
Yeah. For everyone who doesn't know, I was suspended 15 games by the OHL for boarding call, and obviously the suspension is what it is. You serve your time, and then you come back when you're eligible. But I just wanted to address the situation with Tanner Dickinson. Just wanted to wish him all the best in a speedy recovery and keeping him in my thoughts and prayers throughout his road to returning back to the ice. And I had a pretty cool moment the day after the incident, and I got to speak to him on the phone, and he was in good spirits and said he had successful surgery. So hearing that kind of made me feel a lot better, and I'm just like really hoping that it's a speedy recovery, like I said. And he's an amazing player, so I'm sure when he comes back, it's going to be like riding a bike for him, and he's going to get right back to it.
Yeah, exactly. Just an unfortunate situation all around, but hopefully everyone can, come out better and stronger and move on. So, bringing back the football, just Super Bowl this upcoming weekend, obviously. Do you have a pick yet?
Yeah. Like I want the Bengals. I love Joe Burrow. Like I've been a Joe Burrow fan for like since like LSU. Like when he was in like LSU, I watched like a bit of the playoffs that year. I watched the national championship, and the guy just had so much swagger, and he was a rock star. By no means am I saying I'm a Bengals fan or anything like that. Not trying to like grease the bandwagon or whatever, but I'm a fan of Joe Burrow and the way he carries himself. So I'm definitely going to be cheering for the Bengals, and for all those Bengals fans that have suffered for so long. I want to put a smile on their face or help that.
Yeah, I'm on the Bengals, man, and same thing as you. I just love Joe Burrow, and I don't watch a ton of football, and I only really started watching this year, like really through the playoffs, and it was like, yeah, he is all swagger. His press conferences, his like the way he dresses walking into the games and stuff with the shades and everything he says, like he's as cool as I can get. And everyone kind of has the Rams, and I get that the Rams are the favorite, but I I mean, I don't know, but I bet on the Bengals. I bet on the Bengals. So I'm going in for the Bengals. I think I just like seeing chaos too. Everyone's gonna be pissed off. It'll be more fun for me. And yeah, and it pays out more if you're on the Bengals. So I'm going for the Bengals. Burrow's a beauty. He's just gonna walk in, win a Super Bowl, do whatever he wants, have some crazy quotes after. Cigars going crazy. You know how he is.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm on the Bengals. And
But also, I want to quickly mention too, like everyone's been counting the Bengals out. They beat Tennessee in Tennessee, which is like hard to do. That's the number one seed coming off a bye week. And then they go into Kansas City and beat like probably the best like overall team for the last 3 or 4 years, head to head for the second time in 30 days. Like what they've been doing is incredible. So even though they're like the odds on underdog and stuff like that, like I don't think there's any reason why they can't win that game. And then you look at like kind of the Rams, they got to play the 49ers in the NFC Championship game, and 49ers are no slouch, but they're obviously no match kind of, or they can't really compare to the Chiefs really.
it was such a bad game too. Like
yeah, it was brutal.
especially after the Bengals Chiefs, which was a sick, like thrilling game, man.
Yeah.
So I think Burrow's just gonna come in, he's all confident. Stafford's gonna be nervous. And that's what's gonna go down. So everyone's gonna be disappointed but us.
And you know what I heard actually too? It's the first Burrow's going like if he wins the Super Bowl, he's like the first quarterback to win the Heisman, win the national championship, go first overall, and win a Super Bowl. The first one ever. So that would be incredible.
That's a crazy stat, man. So let's go Burrow. He's an absolute stud. So moving on, let's just drop our guest first, and then we can keep going. But we got Jordan Sambrook, OHL champion with the Erie Otters, former 5th-round pick of the Detroit Red Wings in 2018, and most recently played for the Charlotte Checkers in the AHL. He was on my team at Brock, and someone I've known for a long time. And it was a really good interview, so we're excited to get that one out. And but yeah, moving on. Like, have you seen any of the Olympics at all, Cards?
Yeah, like I said, I have nothing to do really, so I've been watching all kinds of stuff like skiing, even curling. Like I was watching curling. I was like,
yeah,
what?
I was watching that. Were you watching that mixed doubles or whatever curling?
Yeah, with the Canadians, with that guy whose last name was like Morris or something.
Yeah, Canada. It was like the Canada against Italy game. Yeah.
Yeah, that was sick.
I watched that.
It was actually bad. Like I don't even like watch any of these sports, but every 4 years it's like the Olympics. It's like your country have some pride and stuff. So it's like, hey, why not just root for these people because it's on right now? Like, and it's actually awesome. And that's what I love about the Olympics so much is it kind of gives you that opportunity to watch sports that you would never really see on TV.
Mm-hmm. And I had it noted down. I wanted to bring up the curling because that was a thrilling match, dude. It was
awesome.
It's such a thinking game too. There's not only so much skill to like have the exact weight and spin on the rock and stuff to get it where you want, but it's such a thinking game. And what I wanted to bring up was I don't know how many sports are like this, but there's no coach. Like the players are out there not only doing the playing, but they're also like, okay, this is what we're going to do with this shot. Like this is where we're going to put it here. And in every other sport, you have a coach telling you exactly what to do, right? But it's so you not only have to be that skilled, but you also have to think the game that highly, which is really cool.
Yeah, it's impressive. It's very similar to almost like golf in a sense in terms of that. I mean, you have your caddy there, and it's similar. Once you throw the rock, you got that person yelling from the far side. It's almost like your caddy kind of telling you how much you need, like how much distance, how much sweep. So I enjoyed it. I'll probably watch a little bit more too now that it kind of caught my interest, you know?
Yeah, it was sick. And it is. Have you ever played shuffleboard?
Yeah.
It's like shuffleboard. Shuffleboard's fun, man.
Yeah, I've went curling once before, and it was so hard. Have you ever been?
I have. I was on the high school team in grade 9. There was only 4 people try it out, and you need 4 for the team. So I made it. I made it. Yeah, it was pretty fun. It was just one of those things like I wanted to try it, so I tried out, not expecting to make it, but literally just not enough people to fill the team, so I made it and went curling a couple times. So it was fun. But there, I wanted to ask you, is there a winter Olympic sport you think if you trained for 1 year, full time training for 1 year, you could not win but like compete in at the Olympic level? And I have one in mind.
In the winter?
Hmm. That's not hockey, obviously.
Like 1 year, just like straight training, nothing else.
Yeah, like you have the trainers, the nutritionists, the facilities. Like you could just train full time for a year.
Speed skating?
Hmm. Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe you could. That's not bad. I was thinking mine's the easier pick, I think, and people might not agree, but bobsled. Put me in the middle in the 4-man bobsled and just train for you, like to like lean and like do the breaks or whatever you have to do. I think, and I hope
No way, man. No way.
You don't think?
No, there's got to be way more to it than we think. There's no way.
But like, and I'm not talking just jumping in a full year of training. I know one girl on the bobsled team. She was on the Brock women's hockey team, and she like never did bobsled at Brock or anything. Like, and I don't know, she's in the Olympics now.
Well, yeah, but here's my thing. Think about all the people that bobsled in Canada. Like, I don't know how much the actual number is and stuff, but like, what is there? There's 4 guys who make it to the Olympics, and these guys are like doing it their whole life. I just feel like, even for like the figure or speed skating one, like I just feel like it's so unrealistic for us people who like watch and see what they do, because they make it look so easy that we think it's easy. So then we think we could do it no problem. But in actuality, you're like, oh my God. Like I feel like once you started doing it, you'd be like, yeah, there's no chance. These people are like incredibly skilled.
I do agree, but I think it's a full year of full time everyday training to sit in the middle and do like the leaning and the push off. And I know there's more to it, and Bob said people are gonna get mad at me for it, but I'm standing by my take. I think, and I'm not saying I'd kick someone off Team Canada. I'm just saying I could compete. I think I could compete at that level, sitting in the middle, not like a front or back, for the full year of nonstop training in the facility. So that's
we'll make a cool runnings movie on you. Just your journey to the Olympics.
Yeah, who knows, man? Get me going. Because even like further to that point, the bobsledders, yeah, I guess that's what it's called. They're training obviously for the Olympics, but they're not training full time every day for a year. Like they're not getting paid enough to bobsled that it can be there. Like, they have to work doing something else. So I think if you just went full at it 1 year every day with the coach, the gym, like the facilities, I think, yeah, I stick with what I'm saying, and it might be a wrong take, but I'm sticking with it for now until someone corrects me.
All right.
Okay, so I guess, I mean, is there anything else we want to talk about now before we send it over to the interview?
No, I think that's pretty much it. Like you said earlier, it's a great interview. Yeah, stick around for some good stories here.
All right, here it is. We're pleased to be joined now by Jordan Sambrook. Sambrook, how's it going, man?
Good, thanks. How are you guys doing?
Good. And
not bad.
For those who don't know, I mean, you've been referenced on the podcast a good amount actually, but Sambrook's my best friend from high school now, and just coming down off your first AHL call up. But even before we get into any of that stuff, can you tell us about like the day you've had and what's going on with your living situation right now in Florida?
Yeah, so I guess I'll start from yesterday, because yesterday might be a little more eventful too. So yeah, we finished our game on Saturday against Syracuse, and then we're supposed to fly out early Saturday or Sunday morning at like 5:30. So we end up finishing the game, and after the game, that we found out the flight's canceled at 5:30 a.m. So we're all kind of like, okay, like, what are we gonna do now? So our team like service guy came, like sent a message to all of us in the group and said, okay, we rebooked everyone's flight to 5:30 p.m. on Sunday. So everyone's okay. And then everyone goes to sleep. We wake up Sunday morning, like ready to go to the airport, and find out that flight is now canceled. So the next option was that we bus back to Charlotte, which was a 12-hour bus ride. So I was on the bus yesterday for 12 hours from Syracuse to Charlotte, and then ended up getting sent back today. So I had to fly back today from Charlotte to Fort Myers, and then ended up when I get back here, we have like too many guys for like not enough apartments basically. So I had to move rooms. So I had to put all the stuff in my car, drive over to this side of the community complex, and move all into my brand new room. And so I've been nonstop for the past 2 days.
And didn't you kick a guy out of that room?
Yeah, I kind of sent him to another room. So I kind of took some rank there and
Hey, this is just another one to add to our collection of coast stories, Rask. We got a couple of beauty stories now.
That's so funny. And what's funny was when he was up in the AHL for 2 weeks, and someone moved into his room in that span.
Yeah, now he's got that room off of me. So
it's like musical chairs for rooms around there.
Yeah.
Basically, I think the guy that was in here has been in 4 apartments, and he's been here for a week and a half.
Come on. That's hilarious. So let's talk about it quick. Your first couple weeks there in the AHL, got to play 2 games this past weekend. So how was it there? How'd you find it?
It was awesome. The guys kind of invited me in right away, and great group of guys kind of introducing themselves as soon as I got there. I was kind of lucky enough to be in a good situation there where they have a lot of injuries and a lot of call-ups right now. So I was, like I said, able to play in 2 games this weekend, and it was an awesome experience. Obviously, trying to get to the highest level I can possibly play at, and playing against guys that have played like multiple games in the NHL and all that stuff. So it was a great experience, and definitely a good addition to my resume for my future career.
Yeah, and speaking of those guys with NHL games and stuff, you got to play with Spencer Knight, who's almost a bit of an established NHL goalie now. So how is he in the AHL?
He was awesome. He was a great teammate. Came down with a great attitude. Obviously, he's kind of a certified NHL player now, but came down and he played 2 games for us when I was here, and he played great in both. He was a standout net, and obviously he's, like I said, one of the better goalies in the NHL. So no, he was great teammate, and obviously I think we won both games that he played, so he was good for us.
And Charlotte Checkers, by the way, I don't know if we mentioned that, but that's the team you're on for those who don't know. And the assistant coach of Charlotte, Dan Bilesma, longtime NHL coach. You got to tell this story with Bilesma for the listeners here. Can you just finish up?
Yeah. So I guess I say my first game there, he comes in the room. So the coaches always kind of come in, for people that don't know. Coaches come in at 10 minutes left or around then, whenever they want to come in after warm up and before the game starts, to kind of say what they need to say last minute and talk about, I guess, the game plan, and usually say the starting lineup. So that's the case here. So yeah, Bilesma comes in and he's wearing a white t-shirt, and obviously the rest of his suit on and stuff too. So he comes in, he's got his face saran wrapped, totally saran wrapped. He's got 2 water bottles. So he comes in, he's yelling all this stuff. He smashes the water bottles together, dumps it over his head, so he's soaked, and then rips his t-shirt off. And he's got the starting lineup written on his chest of the numbers of the players that are starting. And then he turns around and does a point to his back, and he's got the number of the starting goalie written in massive letters on his back. So, and then as he's leaving the room, he whips all the tape across the room and all that stuff, and just kind of says "Let's go, boys," kind of thing. Oh, it was
what a motivator.
I wonder if he did that when he was in the show.
That's what I was wondering, man. That would just, I don't know, Cardsy, how would you respond? How would the Colts respond to that type of motivation?
Well, at first, I think I'd shit my pants a bit. I'd be like, "What is going on right now?" And then once you get used to it, you'd be like, "This is unbelievable! Fire him up!"
Yeah. Hey,
the boys were loving it.
Did he poke a mouth hole in the saran wrap around his face?
yeah, I just kind of like had it so he could obviously talk, but
breathe.
dude, and then after the best is like the equipment guys come in like all like kind of pissed off because they have to pick up all the tape off the ground, all this stuff. So it was an interesting start to the game, but definitely got the boys fired up.
That's
Yeah.
unreal. I mean, we'll kind of send it back now to the minor hockey days and the start of your OHL career, and you start your path with being a 10th round selection in the OHL priority draft, and you didn't make the team as your first year. And a lot of people kind of want to rush into junior, and you took a step back, played that year in midget AAA, which is a route that like not a lot of people look at nowadays, but it's one that's kind of prominent and something that guys can make to the next level from there. So can you kind of talk about that season? Instead of going to junior A and playing midget, you won a national championship that year. So how was that for your development?
Yeah, that was huge, honestly. Me going back that year, obviously, I wanted to make it in the OHL my 16-year-old year, but Erie had 3 overage defensemen that year, so it was like, the chances weren't great that year, but they kind of told me to go back and have a good year and obviously play a lot. So I tried out for a couple junior A teams, but didn't make it. So yeah, I went back to midget, and honestly, it was probably one of the best development years for me. I got to play a ton, power play, penalty kill, any kind of situation in the game, which was huge for me. And then, I had a great coach there, and Brett Punchard, and he really believed in me and wanted to push me to be a better player and all that. So, yeah, I played a ton, and we had a really good team there. No real standout guys, but all guys that were good players, and we kind of really believed in ourselves. And we were hosting OHFs that year, so we knew we were kind of going to get there, but we wanted to get there the real way by winning the GTHL. So we did that. We won the G, and then won OHFs and made all the way to the national championship, the TELUS Cup, and the TELUS Cup was an awesome experience too. It was out in I think Rivière-du-Loup, I think in Quebec, somewhere out there. But yeah, it was a great experience playing against guys like played against Comtois, who's on Anaheim, I think now, and then a couple other AHL, NHL guys that were in that tournament. So yeah, it was a great tournament. We ended up winning, and just a great experience for me and huge for my development.
Yeah. And was your first year at camp, was McDavid there? Or no, was he gone?
Yeah, he was there my first year.
How ridiculous was he out there?
He was nuts, man. He was on my team. I actually sat beside him in the dressing room, kind of like watched up there, and you're looking for your name in the dressing room. I saw my name tag beside me. It's McDavid. I'm like, oh god, like my first camp. I'm coming as a little 16-year-old, and then see him beside me. I'm just like, holy, this is kind of crazy. But yeah, thank goodness he was on my team, because if he wasn't, I might have not been on the radar for making it the next year.
Yeah, absolutely. And he wasn't the only star you played with. You got to play with Dylan Strome and Alex DeBrincat in your second year, actually, when you made the team. And what was it kind of just playing like with guys that high caliber of player and guys who just dominated in the OHL?
Yeah, I also think that was another big part for my development. Obviously, playing with guys that are, Strome went 3rd overall, DeBrincat went 2nd round, that are stars in the NHL now. So, back then playing at them in practice every day, and I think that really helped me become a better player. And obviously, them telling me some tips and tricks and all that stuff about the league and about how to be a better player. So it was pretty cool and pretty fortunate to play with those guys and on a pretty good team.
Yeah, and actually a question that kind of just came to my head was DeBrincat like a character? Because I obviously saw his shootout move in the NHL game. I was laughing my ass off the hangover there. So is he always like that, or just putting on a show for Vegas?
No, I think he was putting on a little bit of a show. He's a pretty quiet guy. He doesn't talk a whole lot in the room, or he wasn't like, he was, say his odd thing, but he wouldn't like go out of his way too much. So unless he's changed a little bit now, that might have been a bit of a show for the crowd for sure. But I thought it was hilarious too. That was funny.
Yeah, I was dying watching that. And also in your first year, a lot of things going on that year, and it was also your draft year. So how did you deal with like being a rookie, seeing yourself in the rankings, maybe not seeing yourself in the rankings? Did you think you were going to get drafted? Did you think you weren't? Like, how did you deal with that year mentally?
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. Obviously, I kind of went into the year not really expecting much. We had, like I said, 3 overage defensemen. that left, I guess, my first year there. So I knew I was going to be, if I could play my way into the lineup, I knew I had a probably pretty good shot. And I think I did that pretty well, obviously. And then I think I had a really good start to the season in terms of points. I think I had like 8 points in the first 12 games or something. And then kind of started seeing myself on like these NHL rankings and stuff. And at first I honestly couldn't even believe it. Like I'm coming in just excited to make the OHL kind of thing. And now like NHL teams or I guess scouts or central scouting or, whoever wants to make the rankings, putting me on there. And it's like kind of crazy to see. I didn't really believe it at first, but once I realized that was kind of like I had that potential to, be drafted and all that stuff, then it was hard. It was like, kind of mesmerizing at first to kind of see myself up there, but I wanted to, just take that opportunity. And, now that people were seeing me and stuff, and I thought that was good. And I was able to, just keep playing my game and trying to do everything I can to kind of help the team win. So it was definitely, crazy at the start, but I was like happy to see myself up there and obviously wanted to just take that opportunity and run with it.
Yeah. And you ended up getting drafted in the 5th round of the Detroit Red Wings. And even before the draft, because we have a lot of younger guys on the pod, Cardsy? So Sanbrook, at least for his combine, he actually got to go because the last couple of years there hasn't been a combine. So can you talk about just the NHL Combine, how that went, and even just you got in-person meetings, in the rooms with all these teams? Can you just talk about that experience?
Yeah, so kind of another one of those ones where I didn't really expect to be invited or anything, because I think they only invite like usually like the top 100 or 110 people, whatever. So my agent emailed me that I got the invite to go. So I was like, oh, this is awesome. Like, gonna be a cool experience. And I'd already talked to like a bunch of NHL teams kind of before that too. So I just thought this would be another good opportunity to kind of talk to them and show them my personality and stuff, kind of away from the rink. But yeah, so it was in Buffalo, and this was 2016. So I went down there, and the first day was just trying to introduction, trying to get all your gear, which is pretty cool too. When you walk in, they just give you a bag full of t-shirts and sweaters and shorts and all that stuff. And we're staying like a nice Marriott hotel, I think it was. And then the second through 4th day was all interviews. So they gave you your schedule and on what teams wanted to meet with you. I think I had 12 teams. I think I had at the Combine talk to me. So you're kind of looking through the list, like seeing like who you're going to talk to, and then trying to do some research on different teams. There's a couple teams that I know like asked me like what I knew about them, and I would just be like freeze up a little bit and be like, I'd name like one player on the team or something. I didn't even know like the coach's name or anything, which is probably pretty bad. But I was trying to research. That's one thing I would say to the younger guys: if you're going to the Combine, do research on the teams before you go into the interview. But yeah, so I interviewed with all the teams, and some of them were easier than others. Some of them just kind of wanted to get to know me a little bit, and some really tested my character, my personality, I guess, and started asking me questions like not even about hockey, just like random ones. Like I forget what team it was, but they would ask me they'd tell me like put these things in order, and it would be like one would be family, one would be like friends, one's like girlfriend, one's like
probably
job,
hockey.
I think. Yeah. And then
who was that? The Isles?
I was thinking it had to be the Islanders.
No, it wasn't. I can't remember who it was. But
yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So I was like, I'm trying to like think like what they want to like hear kind of thing. And obviously like what I thought for myself as well. I can't remember what order I put them in, but I'm just like, oh my, like this is like interesting. I thought they were going to ask me all about hockey, but it's kind of interesting to see that they do all these character tests, and I feel like it's good because, if there's a situation that, off the ice that you got to deal with or whatever, that these teams want to know that their players are good people and good, good people to have in the community and all that stuff. So, yeah, that was the interviews. And then the last day was the combine testing, which I think everyone's probably the most nervous for. It was at the Harbor Center. So like you got like the glass is all out on the range. So you got all the, like most teams brought their like strength and conditioning guys to kind of see what like I guess what condition you're in or how you're doing all of them. So you got all the like executives in the crowd like watching you do like all these exercises and stuff. So
And it was on national TV, right?
I think it was on Sportsnet. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was watching it. Like the combine was on TV.
I probably got no airtime, but like I just like Matthews was there and all those guys. So they like they would probably show like the top prospects kind of thing. And so yeah, it's like pretty like intense. Like obviously you want to do your best and show these teams that, you know, you're in shape and all this stuff. But then after that, we just have to go home after that. And like I said, I'm not too far from Buffalo, so just drove home. But it was a really good experience, and you know, it's definitely one that I'll remember.
Yeah. So tell us about your NHL draft, the whole day and up until you got picked, how it all went down.
Yeah, so I guess we got there on Friday morning. Friday's the first round, and Saturday's the second to seventh round.
Where was the draft that year?
It was in Buffalo as well.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. So yeah, we drove down there Friday morning, and I was so nervous. I didn't know where I was going to go. Didn't know who I was going to go to. Didn't know if I was in a draft or not. I was all over a bunch of different rankings. Hard to kind of not look at them right before the draft, but yeah, so I went down there Friday morning, went to the first round on Friday night. Obviously wasn't expecting to go first round, just kind of wanted to experience it with all those guys going first round and stuff. And then Saturday morning, I think it started at 9:00, and obviously got up early, got there and sat in my seats, and the most nervous I've probably ever been, not knowing anything. And you just hear all these guys like going off and you're like kind of comparing yourself, like, maybe I should have went there, or like maybe I'm better than this guy kind of thing. But yeah, so I was drafted 5th round to Detroit, and when I heard my name, I didn't even know what team it was at first. I had to like look at the board because I just heard my name and I was like too like excited to kind of even know who's like, because they say like this team like selects whatever. So yeah, I didn't even see who it was, and I had to look at the board and found it was Detroit. So I was pretty pumped about that. That obviously such a historic franchise and stuff. But then you go down and meet their executives and GMs and stuff, and so I shook all their hands, kind of saying thank you and all that stuff, and then went to first. First was interviews, and the very first question I got, I don't know if you're aware of this, Rastin, but the reporter comes up to me, goes, so being from Sweden, you must know a lot about the Red Wings. I'm like, and my answer was like, I was like, I'm from Canada.
At least they know who they were talking to, eh? That's good.
Yeah, seriously. I guess they probably said that because like whatever, all the good Swedes that played for Detroit, but that was my first question. That was how it started.
That's embarrassing.
I know. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know whether to go along with it. But I was like, yeah, I'm from Canada.
That's so funny, man. And then, so was it Dan Cleary, the story with the Stanley Cup, or was it someone else?
No, Chris Draper.
Can you tell the Chris Draper story?
Oh yeah. So there's another one. So I don't know, I tweeted out the day of the draft and kind of went viral on Twitter. But so I guess my mom works or used to work with Chris Draper's sister. So when the Red Wings won the cup in '98, his sister invited my mom, and I was 2 months old at the time, to come to his cup party. So I have this picture of me sitting in the Stanley Cup at like 2 months old. And then anyway, fast forward to the draft. My parents wanted me to show them this picture like at the combine. I was way too nervous. I'm like, I can't pull out my phone and like be like, hey, look at this picture kind of thing.
Because Chris Draper was still working in the organization, right?
Right. He was with the Red Wings. So he was one of like, they had a lot of guys in there, but he was like one of the 3 that were asking like the questions. Mm-hmm. So I was honestly debating. I was like, oh, should I do it? Should I show him the picture? But I was like, I can't do this. Like, I don't want to whip out my phone and be like informal kind of thing. So I didn't show it to him, but what's that?
That would be hilarious though. Just, hey Drapes, look at this.
I know. Look at this. That would have, I don't know if that would have helped me. It would have helped me a little bit. But anyway, yeah, so they picked me, and then we go upstairs to the suites after to kind of just keep talking to them, and the whole family comes up. And that's when I showed it to him. I was like, hey, like, look at this kind of thing. And he's like, he couldn't believe it. I guess he obviously remembered like his cup party and stuff, but he didn't know it was me kind of thing. But so then me and him took a picture there, and I tweeted it out, and like the NHL retweeted all this stuff, kind of went viral on Twitter. But it was kind of a crazy story how I guess I technically met him at 2 months old, and then came full circle and got drafted by them. So
yeah, that's a hell of a story there. And obviously you get drafted, you got a lot of confidence going back to Erie, and you go in and you win the OHL championship next year. So do you just want to kind of talk about that playoff run with such a deep team you guys had, and to be able to win it all? What a privilege that was.
Yeah, I know it's pretty like that was a huge honor for me and the team to be able to win, because obviously, you get 5 years in the OHL. It's not easy to win a championship during that time. But yeah, we were a good team right from the start, and then we picked up Cirelli and Fogel at the trade deadline, and that just bolstered our offense for sure. We had honestly, we had 4 almost first lines. Like, it was crazy, but we had a really good team that year, and I think we finished first in the league, I think. And then so playoffs come around. I forget who we played in the first round, but
was it not? Was that not London?
No, London was the second round. First round might have been like Saginaw or Sarnia. Maybe. I can't remember who it was. I think it was either Saginaw or Sarnia. I think one of those two. I think we swept them, to be honest. And then we play London in the second round, and London just knocked out Windsor. So Windsor, the host of the Memorial Cup this year. So London's all like fired up. That
I remember everyone was having a fit. Like, they're all like, "Oh, how can Windsor play in the Mem Cup? They lost in the first round." Everyone was like freaking out.
I know, it was crazy, but London had a pretty good team. Windsor was a good team as well, because I think they were the 4-5 seeds, I think. So it sucks that they had to play each other in the first round, but yeah. So London knocked out Windsor. London was a good team too, and then against London we go to Game 7. We're down like 3-0, I think 2 or 3-0 in the first period, and we're all like, oh no, like it's like a sold out house at our range. Game 7, we're like, oh, this is like brutal start, like 3-0 already, and then we pulled our goalie. I think we put our other goalie in, and then we just started scoring. It was like I can't remember when we scored, but we scored a couple, and then I think we were down 3-2 going into the third or 4-3 or something. I'm pretty sure we scored like late in the game to tie it up. And then we go to overtime, and Fogel scored the game winner in overtime for us. So that was a nice Game 7 winner against London, especially London being, if anyone knows of the OHL rivalry, Erie and London have a pretty big rivalry. So that was a big one for sure. And then I think the third round we played Owen Sound, I want to say.
Oh yeah, I remember that series. Yeah,
I think we played Owen Sound in the third round, and I think we might have went to 7 against them too. Or
like you did, because Guzda would have been in the pipes, eh?
Would have been him, or would have been?
Was this your third
McNiven?
I think it was
Guzda
McNiven.
Was backing up, I bet.
That was my second year.
When did you win your third year?
My second year.
Like third year eligibility though, Cards.
Third year.
It would have been like my 18-year-old year.
It was like 2019. No, yeah.
2017.
So it would have been a year before Guzda. It would have been.
I'm sure right, McNiven was there.
Oh,
right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, so I think that series went to like 6 or 7 too, at least.
Yeah, because you guys played like a million playoff games. I remember it was like some crazy number. Because everything went to 7.
And we had 23 or 24, I want to say.
So a
maybe
sweep
and
yeah. Anyway, continue.
Anyway, we beat Owen Sound. We go in the finals versus Mississauga, and I play with Stefan LeBlanc here, and he was on Mississauga, so I give it to him a little bit. But we end up we won the first. We won the first 3, and we lost Game 4. But it was kind of nice. It worked out because then we got to go home for Game 5, and Game 5 went to overtime, and Cirelli won it in overtime. This was like Cirelli's fourth overtime game winner goal. What did he do? He got the Mem Cup goal the year before or 2 years before. 2 years before, I think it was.
Yeah, and then he scored like a big Did he not win the Stanley Cup for Tampa too, with an OT goal?
Not OT, but I think he did it or maybe he won a series, or maybe he got the
I
game
think he won the. Yeah,
I think it was a series. Yeah, I don't think it was
the one to go to the Cup. He scored the OT winner, I think.
Yeah.
So we were on a power play too. So and our power play was like Cirelli, DeBrincat, Strome, and both the Radishes.
Yeah.
Like Fogle was the first power play, and this guy's unbelievable NHL player. But that was our first unit. So we were kind of like, oh, we're gonna score for sure, kind of thing. And then I went back door to Cirelli, and he tapped it in, and then the crowd went nuts. It was like our arena in Erie is pretty big. We have like 7,000 like seats there, and it was like sold out and like.
And how about Cards? Cirelli's Insta post after, you probably wouldn't have seen it. He posted the cockiest picture with the OHL championship trophy, and it was his second one in like 2 years, wherever. He goes, "Nice to see you again," holding the trophy. That was crazy.
You have to do that. I would totally throw that out there. But then, so yeah, like the Mem Cup, that was in Windsor. Was that the year Timpano threw his stick?
Yeah, that was it.
So my good buddy, like one of my really close golf buddies, is like boys with him. So I remembered watching it, and I just see this guy throw his stick. Did he throw it at a camera guy or something? What happened there?
Yeah, I guess it was we pulled them because we were down by one, like pulled them to do an extra touchdown at the end of the game. So then, like, we didn't.
Was this in the championship game?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the championship
game.
And they didn't end up scoring either. So it was whatever ended, I think 4-3. And the camera guy, obviously it's on Sportsnet. The camera guys had coming by the bench, like trying to get like our facial reactions, I guess. And I didn't even see it until I saw the video of it after. But I guess he just whipped his stick like at the camera guy because he was like obviously like pissed off and stuff. I don't even know. Or maybe he tried to get the camera out of the way. I'm honestly not really sure, but
that's so funny.
I know that kind of went viral too, and a lot of people were kind of giving it to him a little bit for that. But obviously, the emotion of losing the Mem Cup, like one of the hardest trophies to win in hockey, then I mean, I would have probably done the same thing if it was kind of right in his face. And obviously, he was the starting goalie, so
yeah. And you guys had beat Windsor in the round robin, right?
No, we didn't. Not in round robin. Windsor swept the Mem Cup. They didn't lose the game.
Oh wow! And yeah, that was Mikey DiPietro, former guest of the pod,
right?
And who backed him up, Sammer?
Mario Kalina.
Holy, our Brock goalie was the backup.
Jeez.
And your teammate up, Brock. Yeah. So I mean, we'll finish up with some O stuff here. Like, you get traded to the Sioux with Taylor Radish, and can we confirm, was it the biggest trade in OHL history in terms of number of picks?
It was 9 draft picks and Hayden Fowler. So
so 10 pieces going back to Erie.
Yeah. So as far as I know, it's the most picks that went back for a trade. But I'm not.
Do you know how much was in the Tomasino trade?
A lot. It'll be close. Mm-hmm. Tomasino and Akil both went for a lot, but Akil went for a player. So I'd say Tomasino, probably like close to that for sure. But I remember that trade. That was a huge deal.
Yeah.
I think it was 5 second rounders, like 2/3, or maybe 3/3, and then like a couple later round picks, but it was crazy.
Yeah. I mean, so you go to another wagon team, dude. The Sioux is crazy. You go to the OHL finals again. So like, just tell us about your time in the Sioux. Yeah.
So it was obviously, I didn't know much about the Sioux, kind of not playing there. And us in Erie, we don't play in the Sioux that often. I think we really play there once a year, but going up there it was actually awesome. I loved up there. It was great hockey city, great fan base, especially when we were a wagon that year too. So we went up there, and it was an awesome time. I think like our whole decor was drafted, so we had a good decor as well, and some of our forwards were
Sandine.
Yeah, Sandine, Hollowell.
Oh yeah,
Noah Carroll, Legerrier,
Rourke,
Simmons.
Yeah. Rourke was a year later when I ended Sanbrook's career in the O with a Series mop up. See you, bud.
With the dagger and game sets, but yeah. So no, we were a really good team that year too, and we had really good players, and yeah, we made it to I can't remember the series in that year though. I can't remember what we did, but we had a crazy series against Owen Sound in the second round. I think it was 7-gamer.
Yeah,
that was the Guzda one. That was the Guzda one that I was talking about.
Yeah.
Didn't you guys win that game like 9-7 in game 7 or something?
Yeah, there was like we were up like I think we were up like 6-1 or something. And then they scored like 8,000 goals in the third, and we scored a couple too, and yeah, it ended up like 9 sets or something like crazy. Yeah. I think a couple guys on their team had like 3 or 4 points in the third period alone, but because Owen Sound was pretty good too. They had some good players too, but yeah, so we won that one. Then we played Kitchener in the third round. And that was another crazy one.
We talked about this series when I can't remember who was on cards, but this was the series where Giovanni Smith flipped off the bench in the crowd and got suspended, and then they lost in game 7.
Bro, Sammer's been through it all. Like this guy's career, he played with every best player. He's got to see the best incidents happen. Jeez.
Literally. But yeah, so that happened because they beat us in overtime in game 6. And then he went by the bench and did that. So he ended up getting suspended for that. And I know Giovanni too, and that's obviously not really, he's a great guy. It's not his character, but obviously the emotion of winning that game. And I'm sure he was pretty fired up that got to go to game 7. So, but yeah, so we go to game 7, and we went to overtime. No one scores in the first overtime. So everyone's like, remember going to the room after first overtime. We're like, we cannot lose this, like at home, game 7. Then yeah, we go for the second overtime, and it was a brutal goal too. It might have been Kalina net actually.
Yeah, he was the starter for Kitchener that year.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was him in net. Yeah. Sorry, Kalina, just saying that. but our FS Kopaka just like shot like from like the blue line almost, and I'm gonna say it should have been stopped, but
he gave 2 of those up against U of T this year too, man. You gotta work on
it. You might want to cut that out, but
no, that stays in.
But yeah, so it was like a soft shot and just went like 5-4, I think, on the ice. Maybe it was screened or something, I don't know. But I remember I just got on the ice and I was like the first one on, and
that's a big plus.
Right to him. Yeah, I wanted like a Phantom Apple there or something.
but you get the plus, and is this right? Are you're 4th all time in OHL plus minus?
I think so, yeah.
Are you also 4th all time in OHL playoff games?
I think I'm 4th. I think I'm within the top 10. I think I have like 75 playoff games, I think.
And you didn't even play your first year. I
know, and then my plus minus is like, I'm pretty sure I can't remember. I'd have to look up what my plus minus was, but I'm pretty sure I'm like top 5 all time for that.
Yeah. Nice.
Just to inform you boys, the Leafs just won in an OT. Marner got 2, 1 in the third and 1 in OT.
Let's go.
Let's go. Buzzing right now.
Oh my God. So just quick research, Sam. You want to update us on those plus minus stats?
Yeah. So I found it. I am 4th all time at plus 134. Over my 4-year career.
What?
Yeah, and 4 of the top 6 guys were on my Erie team. Me, Darren Radish, DeBrincat, and Strome were in the top 6 all time.
And you're 3 off of being 2nd all time. Like, you're that close.
Yeah, it's pretty close. So I guess I got some bragging rights for my plus minus.
Big plus guy, yeah.
So, that's but I did that to my good team, so I can't take that on myself. So.
No, all the pluses are for you.
All right. And unfortunately, you didn't sign with Detroit that following season, like in your 4th year, and then you play your OA year and stuff. And how did that kind of affect you mentally? Did you like be able to bounce back and be like, hey, I'm going to go to U Sports, I'm going to make like a pro career still, or did it kind of dwindle your dreams?
No, I still thought I'd made a good career. Obviously, it sucks learning that or hearing that you're not going to sign. I think it was the morning of a playoff game. I think I got told by my agent that I wasn't going to sign. So I can't remember how I played that night, but I'm going to say it probably wasn't that great. or maybe I played the best game of my life. I don't know, but yeah. So found that out, and then that was actually after my that was after my third year, I guess, because that was after my 2 years. Then I went to Columbus's camp after my third year, and I thought I had a good chance of signing there. I was being told that if I had a good camp and all that stuff, which I did, but. And I think I had a really good prospects tournament too. I think I was top 5 in D-men scoring in that tournament.
And you guys won the prospects tournament too.
Yeah, we won the prospects tournament too. We had a good team and stuff. So I don't know. I thought I had a really good camp, but obviously it just didn't work out there. And then I went to Boston's camp after my OA year. Didn't work out there. So I've been through a lot of camps, kind of not signing and stuff. Obviously, when I want to sign, but I think. Obviously, when you hear it that you're not going to sign it, it sucks. But I think that's just kind of made me more mentally stronger, mentally tough, and just just keep pushing my way to as high as I can go in terms of league and furthering my career. So,
and actually, I'm wondering too how you have to have so much gitch from going up.
So you'll see me one day in Boston gear, you see me next day in Detroit gear, next day in Columbus gear. The boys probably think I've been a suitcase around the around the league when I show up to work as the summertime.
Actually, you know what? I think I've heard that because you go to the one that all the boys go to in Pickering, right, or wherever.
Yeah, with Cozy and
yeah. I think they have said that they're like, yeah, Sammer's just. He's got every NHL team. It's like he goes to Pro Hockey Life and just buys everything.
Yeah, I see me every day with a different shirt on. So
yeah, that's good. And you ultimately you wind up at Brock. So how did that go down for you? Why'd you choose to go there?
Definitely not with any Raskin influence, but but no, honestly, because you were the first one to reach out to me about it and talk to me about it, and I didn't really know. I didn't really have too much information on U Sports other than what you told me previously about Brock and stuff. But and then UNB was actually the first school other than Brock to reach out to me, and obviously they're known as kind of the powerhouse in U Sports. And I was debating going there, but I wanted to make sure I played a lot. And then obviously they recruit a lot of guys and recruit some good players and have guys that drop down from the AHL and East Coast League and stuff. So it's not that I didn't believe in myself, but I just wanted to make sure kind of thing that I was going to play a lot. And obviously you and Marty had a big influence on me coming to Brock. And when I met with you guys and Kev as well, but when I met with you guys and stuff, it made sense for me to go to Brock, and the sport management program there was a good choice for sure.
Oh yeah. And was it I just remembered this one this morning when I was throwing down the outline, but was it my 2 recruiting bags I gave you? Can you tell that story?
You don't need to say what was in the one recruiting bag.
I'm saying it.
Yeah,
I'll tell the story. So cards for recruits, we can give them these swag bags, I guess you want to call them. I don't know. It's like a Brock duffel bag with a bunch of Brock branded stuff in it. Simple, whatever. So I have one of these things I'm going to give to Sanbrook, but since he's
we were in Niagara Falls at the time, right? Because we were playing Niagara, I think. And then you were like, oh, can I come to the hotel and give you a bag? I'm like, no.
And so I got a second one of these bags, but dumped out all of the inside stuff, and I filled it. It was what you need at Brock. So I had the one actual Brock recruiting bag, and then the other one, it was filled with 500 condoms, a 6-pack of beers. There's Smirnoff Ice. There was shotgun tools, beer bongs, whatever you need, just everything you need to party basically outside these 2, and they were both in identical Brock duffel bags, and it was hilarious. So a little bit of a Brock survival kit in the one that might have got you there.
Yeah, that was an interesting play. I'm not gonna say anything more about that, but well, that's not what I was expecting when you said I'm gonna give you a second bag.
So you come to Brock the first year and you lead the team in points as a defenseman. We were blown away. We loved you and all that. And what's so funny about that? Oh, we loved you. Oh, well, because he left us, so it was like a heartbreaker. But we'll get to that. But hey, talk about the Steel Blade when you scored in front of 5,000 fans and they were going bananas, blew the roof off that place.
Yeah, so that was an unreal game. That was one of the most, well, maybe not one of the most important days, so one of the most fun days I probably played in. Obviously, it being an exhibition game, but you still want to win for the Steel Blade, just show that off a little bit, chirp the guys on golf. But yeah, so like the crowd was unreal. Like it's sold out, like 5,000 university students and
Cardsy, this crowd is crazy. They're hammered, singing all game long, going. Not everyone's wearing red. We give them all like the clapper thing. It was just like pandemonium all game long.
Yeah, they're screaming.
I think we talked about that one with Marty too, Rask.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, they were screaming. I remember, I think we were losing at the time when I scored, but I think it was like I think I got a pass like kind of at the top of the blue line, like right in the middle. I think I just took a one-timer and the goalie must have been screened or something because who knows? I probably wouldn't score a one-timer for the top if it wasn't screened. But I scored and I wanted to like do like a huge celly. I can't remember what I did, but if we were like winning or something, or like if that was like the first goal of the game, I probably would have cellied so hard. But I think I just did like maybe a fist pump or something. But
the humble fist pump. I'm Jordan Sambrook. I do this all the time.
the humble. But yeah, it was pretty cool scoring. Like the crowd was fired up, and I think it was later in the game, so maybe a few people had already left to go enjoy the rest of the night. But yeah, it was pretty cool, and that game is like pretty sweet, and definitely one I'll miss at Brock for sure. I need to go back to another Steel Blade and enjoy it as a fan. But
absolutely. How'd you like being a student, man? Like living off the ice. Obviously, there was a lot of extracurriculars that year for the boys. But what about just like life away from the rink?
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It's a little different after not really doing a whole lot in the OHL, but doing like we did a lot of online stuff, I guess, in the OHL, but going back to class, and that's my first university experience. So it's kind of like weird too. Like I'm like my first year, and like you or like let's say people that don't play hockey or like aren't on the hockey team that are in like their fourth year that are my age, like kind of like the vets of the campus kind of thing. Yeah. And I'm like this little rookie like walking around like not knowing where anything is. But it's kind of cool, I guess, kind of try to take some class with the teammates and the SPEMA profs all kind of love the hockey guys. So
yeah, Chard does anything for the boys.
Yeah. So it made it a little bit easier, but I know it was like a little difficult, like studying for exams again when you're used to kind of just coming home and like going
to play Xbox.
Xbox, hang out with the boys, trying to like do whatever, not really have to worry about schoolwork. But it wasn't a huge transition, but definitely a little bit of a wake up call for sure.
A lot of fun, at nights at Brock, that's for sure. But we don't need to get into
it. Yeah, we can say that for another day.
And after your time at Brock, or not after, I mean, like right in the middle, you just pull the chute on Rask and flip him off and say, "I'm out of here, bud." And you signed in the coast with the Florida Everblades. So one of the best spots you could probably pick to go play hockey at, other than the musical rooms you got going on there. But kind of just tell us about living and playing in Florida for the first time.
Yeah. So it was kind of like the Florida scout texted me right out, like as first off, I guess our season got canceled at U Sports. So I was like kind of debating. I was like, can I go a full year without playing games? Like probably not, kind of thing. So when I heard from Florida, I'd already said no to a couple of coast teams before too, because I kind of expressed my interest that I wanted to play pro at like any time kind of thing. And I think that was kind of like a well-known thing. So I had a couple of coast teams call me like before my second year at Brock, I guess. And that was before I knew the season was going to be canceled. So I said no to them and went to Brock for my second year. And the first half got canceled, I think, right? But the second half didn't at first.
Yeah.
And then so went to the first half, and then second half came around. The Florida scout texted me, and I was like, at this point, I think the second half had been canceled. And then I was trying to debate it. I'm like, do I want to go? Do I want to kind of finish school? Like my school package. There's a lot to kind of think about, but I was like, you know what, if I say no to this, I might regret it in the future. And I was thinking the earlier I can go pro, the earlier I can try and make it up to, you know, the AHL or a good league in Europe, or, you know, whatever the highest league I can kind of play at. But so I decided, Tom, like I said, Fort is kind of a hard spot to say no to, especially us here in Fort Myers. It's pretty nice area. And so I come down here, and, you know, I got a little bit of like some games in. I obviously want to play a little bit more last year, but just trying to get my feet wet and kind of learn the organization and stuff. But yeah, no, I love it down here. It's a great spot, and definitely one of the better places to play in the coast that I've heard from. So,
And then, so, you know, most recently having played in the AHL, what's the difference like from the ECHL to the AHL?
For us, it's not a huge difference, honestly, in terms of like off ice stuff, like travel and, you know, meals and hotels and stuff. We were pretty lucky. We fly a lot of places down here, but some coast teams like bus everywhere. So that would be a big difference if you're on a different team. But we fly rather than Jacksonville and Orlando, which is only 3 and 5 hours away. So, but like just the in terms of like the meals and stuff, like they have like almost like NHL type meals in the AHL. Like they got everything. They got like multiple sauces, Alfredo, meat sauce, whatever.
Hey, how many shampoos are there in the shower?
There's the same amount.
Which is what?
1, 2, maybe.
Cardsy said in Cardsy, how many shampoos were there in San Jose?
Well, there had to have been like 8
different. That I thought you meant like a hotel shower, but yeah. Yeah. There's like, you got like a couple different ones, especially like, well, I was only in Charlotte for, I guess, like 1 practice day. We were on the road the whole time, but
yeah, they had
like
2-week roadie when he was called up. Cards.
That's nice.
Yeah,
what's that?
2-week roadie when you got called up.
Oh yeah. But yeah, anyway, in Charlotte, it was like you had the Old Spice, you had the Dove, like pick your poison kind of thing. But yeah, there was a lot. But yeah, just like, I mean, it's a league higher, right? So there's obviously going to be like better amenities, and these teams are the main farm teams for these NHL teams. So they send them pretty good stuff, and you know, the staff there were awesome. Like they're on top of everything. You know, I didn't even touch my gear like when I was there. Like I bring it to the hallway and put it on a cart, and it's gone at the Nets rink for me. So just kind of all that stuff, like the off ice stuff, I think is a little bit like different in terms of that. But travel wise, you know, it is what it is. For depends. Like I said, depends where you play. But
why were you guys busing or flying?
We flew, but did I tell the bus story?
Yeah, at the beginning.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember that.
What about on the ice though? Like, how was that?
Yeah, that's what I said. The kind of the big difference was like these guys are out here, like, you know, it's like a very intense practice. Like, you know, if we mess up a pass, like coach is calling us back and saying like redo it kind of thing. Like I said, just the speed of the plays, I'd say. Like I was telling you about this, but the pace of the game wasn't that much. Like it's obviously faster, but it's not like whoa, it's crazy fast. But just the pace of like the plays, like the passes are on the tape, they're quick. Everyone knows where each other are. So I'd say that's the biggest difference between the coast to the A. And you know, you got guys that are first round NHL pits that have played. Some have played, you know, 100, 200, 300 NHL games and stuff. So they're smart players. They're really smart players up there, and you just try to be that much better.
And I guess we'll kind of take it from there, kind of out of hockey questions, and move into our personality questions. And then we got my favorite segment coming up next with Rask, not Nest. Got that one going again, Rask, where I just say random words. But how would your teammates describe you?
I think they describe me as, I'd say probably more quiet. I'm not a huge talker. I like to joke around a little bit. I'm pretty like loose personality in terms of like, I don't need to have my headphones in, like head down, like no one talks to me before the game kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah, I'd say like kind of like quiet, kind of like laid back kind of guy in the room, and love to play SuperBowl too. It's my game.
Yeah.
2-touch. But but yeah, I'd say kind of like a quiet, laid back, kind of get along with everyone kind of thing.
The silent sewer assassin. That's good. It's a good trait. What do you like to do away from the rink?
Being down here, a lot of golf. Golf is probably this is my favorite. I know you're a big golfer too, but
yeah,
Rask thinks he's a big golfer.
Hey, I beat you this past summer that one round.
No. There's no scorecard to confirm.
I have the scorecard. I kept it. And Sway can confirm it.
Cameron, that's ugly if you lost to Rask.
No, cards. I shot an 88. It was the round of my life.
Yeah, you had a hole in your pocket that day. Balls were just sliding back out into the fairway somehow.
There might have been a couple kicks.
He shoots it 4 feet, like 400 meters into the woods. Then all of a sudden you pull. It's right here. It
hit the branch.
But yeah, golf is a big one down here. We have a pool at the complex here, so I spend a little bit of time there. Tennis, pretty good tennis player too. A little bit at spots here and there.
Yeah, we are ripping Fortnight lately. We've been back on the grind.
Oh, Grass, there isn't a minute you're not on the Fortnite grind, bud. And next one, a very popular question: how do you eat a cupcake?
How do I eat a cupcake?
Yeah.
You know what? I usually eat it from like the top, like down, like the icing part first.
Yeah.
But I'd say it tastes better when you eat the bottom first and then you eat the top part.
Okay.
Because you want the icing and the sprinkles and all that stuff on top. But I usually eat it like I just top down, or like how probably most people eat it.
I also want to say, like, Sanbrook goes after the candy, man. Like, you should have seen his room at Brock. He had shelves and shelves that were supposed to be for like clothes and stuff, and it was all candy.
So yeah, that's the next question. What's your favorite candy?
I got a pretty big sweet tooth. It's pretty bad, but I'd say, what do you think, Ras? Sour Patch Kids, probably. It's probably my go-to.
Sour Keys guy number one.
Okay, Sour Keys, yeah, Sour Keys. But like, they got to be the good Sour Keys. They're like, there's a hit or miss on the Sour Keys. Like, you got to get the good ones. So like, the ones that Costco used to sell. You can't just buy any Sour Keys. You know, the ones at Costco are the best ones. But I don't think they sell them anymore. But I think. There was one store in Thorold, actually, when I was at Brock, that had like the good ones, and I would go there all the time. But I forget which grocery store it was. But
yeah,
Sour Keys or Sour Patch Kids.
I used to just go to your apartment. Remember, you had those Unreal cookies that you didn't like, and I would just go over to like hang out, but really just take all his cookies. He'd just be feeding me these nice, like, those soft cookies. Cards. Are you a soft cookie guy?
Yeah, I'm about to have a soft cookie if we stop talking about soft cookies. My mom just made some for me, so I'm fired up.
Okay. Well, we can move it along into a little bit of Sanbrook, this or that, Sammer. So quick, I say 2 options, this or that. You pick, we move on. Rip through a couple. So white tape or black tape? Black tape. Bar down or 5-hole? Bar down. Yeah. That no defenseman would ever say 5-hole, I guess, eh?
No, if I try and shoot 5-hole, I look like an idiot because I can never score, especially like if we're doing like shootout in like practice. I try and go 5-hole and I like try to just like slide in kind of thing.
When you tried to go 5-hole on that breakaway in the playoffs against Guelph and you missed, oh my God, I was gonna kill you.
Yeah, prime example right there. And I tried to go 5-hole. I had 1 penalty shot in my OHL career. And I tried to do like a little backhand, forehand 5-hole, and I just looked like an idiot because the goal easily saved it. I don't have like the best hands in tight kind of thing, so.
Okay, keeping it going. Shoot first or pass first?
I'd say shoot first probably for me.
Yeah. Harvey's or Wendy's?
Harvey's for sure. Wendy's good option, but Harvey's my absolute favorite.
This guy loves Harvey's. Okay, I put sour keys or chocolate?
Sour keys.
Okay. What about just candy or chocolate?
I think it's sort of candy. I love chocolate, but I'd probably choose candy first.
Okay. Fortnite or hockey?
hockey, but Fortnite is if you're talking about NHL like video game or Fortnite, probably Fortnite.
No, I was talking real hockey. Okay.
Man, hey, if this wasn't going live on the air for every NHL, AHL, and Coast team to see, he'd definitely say Fortnite. But
No, hockey for sure.
He loves the game. All right, last one here. This one I'm curious. Take a nap or go for a walk?
I'm probably a take a nap.
Yeah, you're always in bed. I remember, Cards, I don't know if you remember when we had Rourke on. Oh no, I was waiting for you to join the Zoom, and Sanbrook FaceTime me, and I showed like the camera to Rourke, and Sanbrook's in bed, and Rourke's like, "This guy's always in bed," and it's true.
actually, yeah, I think I remember that, man. I actually did. That's jokes though.
Yeah,
Sammy, you got to get to bed soon, then I guess. Hey, bedtime, or you were like, you got to be like, I could see you like ripping Fortnite with Rask late nights and then like sleeping during the day.
That's what I do. Well, practice is what 10:30, and then I get home from practice at like 12 or 1, and then usually take a nap, and then I'm good for Fortnite the rest of the day.
All right. Last but not least, rolling into our fan questions. Our favorite one from all the fans every week: stick and specs.
So I'll go with my favorite stick because we have to use Warriors in this league. So I go Warrior. I don't know what it's called, the DX, I think it is. I go the P90 curve or P92, like the typical Backstrom Bauer one. And I usually go, well, now I have 100 flats, but my favorite flats, 100 flats, but my favorite flats is if I could like specify it a little more, like my CCMs, I would go CCM Trader, P90 curve with 95 flats and stiff blade. I need a stiff blade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, help with the 1Ts.
Helps with all his stick infractions, man. This guy is just always slashing and tripping.
I'm good for usually a slash or crush like every once or 2 games.
Pre-game meal.
I switch it up usually. Obviously, chicken pasta usually on the road, but at home lately I've been going Jersey Mike's subs, and I've been like feeling great on the ice. So actually we're away this weekend, but whenever the Nets home game is, Jersey Mike's sub will be my go-to.
Get you a sponsorship.
Shout out Jersey Mike's.
Usually like a cookie too. Like I have to have some sweet before a game, so usually a chocolate chip cookie from there.
Okay, I like it. And our last question from a person you may know: what was your haircut your first year in Erie from Christian Gurney?
Oh God, I don't know. I'm not gonna like demonstrate or anything, but it was like basically like just put the hair down and like cut across.
It was brutal.
Hey Ras, can you pull up a picture and make this a clip?
Yeah, the picture's gonna go up on that. I tried
to do like a blue steel like look too, and it was like I remember I played with Travis Dermott, and he didn't. I didn't hear the end of it from him about my haircut.
Gurney said the guys were giving it to you all year about the haircut. I forgot Dermott was on that team too, and Chernak was on that team. There's a lot of sick guys you play with, man. Holy.
Yeah, but I remember I got a Secret Santa gift that year, and it was like a haircut. Like, I honestly think Gurney had me. I think Gurney got it for me, but I didn't hear the end of it that year. But I fits it up. I think it's a little bit better. So
that's so funny. I have 2 more cards I want to throw in. First, I want you to tell a story of your overtime goal in London.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I forgot about that. So this was in London. Like, I was on Sioux at the time, so, like, it wasn't as big of a rivalry. If it was Erie, then it would have been, like, even better, I feel like. But anyway, still sweet. So I think Hollowell had the puck behind the net, but he needed a change. So he just kind of, like, dropped it to me as I was coming on. So I went stop behind the net. And then I don't even know what I was thinking. I don't think I've ever went end ever before, but I just fly up the left main, and it was on Hancock too, who was at Brock for a little bit. But so me and him were kind of like, he was chasing me, and we were kind of like neck and neck. But then he kind of handed me off to like the D-man, and the D-man was like kind of flat-footed. So I just made like one little move, after like I went end to end, made one little move, like left to right, kind of beat him, and shot it far side, low blocker, and I like almost like blacked out. I didn't know what to do. So a couple of my teammates that were on like came to hug me, and I like pushed him out of the way.
He blows off the teammates.
And then I just do this like bad like double fist pump. Like
it was the down on one. It was the Patty Kane one knee like double pump sliding back towards his own end.
Like I saw the video after. I looked stupid, but in the moment, I thought like this is like the best Sally ever kind of thing. And then they all kind of like hugged me. But that was like I always wanted to score an overtime winner. That was like one of my biggest like things I wanted. I guess in the L, or like anytime scoring an overtime winner, it's just like the best kind of feeling. But
yeah, and to end in front of 10,000 isn't bad though.
Yeah, at the bottom.
Oh, I'm watching it right now. I'm pulling it up right now.
I actually thought the Selly was kind of cool, if I'm being honest.
It wasn't bad, but like
let me know what you think.
Oh yeah, this is it.
Race down the wing up against Hancock. Here's Sanbrook, coach.
Oh, you fall first too.
Yeah, I forgot I fell first.
It's kind of a cool Selly though.
Yeah, just the double fist bump. But I was like, I remember OHL posted on their like Instagram account, and like a couple people were like, was like goal like 8 out of 10, like Sally like 2 out of 10 or something. I was like, oh, this ain't good.
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
I have one more that I forgot, but just quickly, Sammer, if you sign an NHL contract tomorrow, what's like the first thing you're gonna buy?
First thing I buy would probably be, I need a new wallet, so I want to go with like a nice wallet. I've been thinking about buying that, but Burberry wallet is what I go with.
Okay. Oh, hello.
That's the best of the pod.
Hello.
Thomas Womaka.
What's up, man? New Rudy Sammer.
Nashville Predators.
What are you doing?
Sign goalie.
What are you doing?
My buddy has a podcast, so.
Oh, you're on podcast?
Yeah.
Did I just ruin it all?
No, you didn't. He'd cut it out, but maybe they can invite you in. Maybe you can go on it.
Come say hi.
NHL signed goalie.
Yeah. Hey, Card, we got a Nashville Predators signed Tendy on the pod right now.
Yeah, get him going next week.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I love it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
All right, I'll leave you guys to it.
All right.
So, Sam, last one, though. Just I know you've heard of our partners at the Gavin Wealth Specialists, and they'd help you get a wallet, but they'd also help you set up your financial future, investments, NFTs now, taxes, all the good stuff. Cardsy and I have seen their offices, beautiful, great people that work there. And yeah, the Gavin guys are the best in the business. You know it. I talk about it with you all the time. All the listeners know it. We all know they're the best. So for everybody, check them out, gavingroup.ca, the very best. And they even sent me this cool puck. So for the listeners, look at this puck. Now you have to go to Gavin.
You have to.
Yeah.
You have to.
So Cards, yeah, you want to I guess, is that all from you, Cards, there?
Yeah, no, I'm good. Just appreciate you taking the time out of your day, Sammer. I know you had a busy one today and getting acclimated to your new room. But thanks for coming on. Really enjoyed it.
You're mucking the
thanks,
cookies
boys.
now, too.
I know. Thanks for having me.
Cookies.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, man, it was a good talk, and yeah, appreciate you coming on. It's good we can finally get you on here. So, yeah, man, have a good night. Enjoy Florida some more.
Thanks, man.
All right, and we want to thank Sammer for that one. It was a great interview, like we said before, and yeah, it was pretty cool to hear some of those stories. Like sometimes when you don't like necessarily maybe know the name of the pod and stuff like that, maybe it's not a Quentin Byfield or something like that, but I thought it was an amazing interview. And to have those stats in the OHL and be an OHL champion is absolutely incredible. And he's a player that will work his way up the pro ranks within no time, just kind of by his track record, the way he plays the game and everything like that. It all contributes to team success, which every team needs.
Yeah, it actually was an awesome interview. And even me, like who's known him for so long, I kind of didn't realize or forgot maybe some of those stories or the career he's had so far. Like some of those things were incredible and the stories were funny. And like you said in the interview, he's been involved in so many of these stories. And it was really funny. So an entertaining one, and it was good hearing about that. And I do agree he'll keep working his way up because you know it, like if that's all you want to do, like you put in the work, people can get there, and he has the skill, so he works hard. and he trains with a lot of your friends like Perfetti and Cozy and stuff like he mentioned. So
Yeah.
To train with guys like that, man, rub off some of that energy, not bad. It's been there's not too much to talk about, but it's been snowing like crazy over here in Niagara, which it never really does too much. What's it been like in Barrie?
Well, I'm in Curtis right now, but Barrie hasn't even been that bad this year compared to like my parents said it's been like way worse here, but
Yeah.
it's obviously been like a lot everywhere kind of.
Yeah, it's bad here, man. My car was buried in snow. I had to dig it out with my little plastic emergency shovel, which is like the size of my maybe two hands put together like this. That's how big it is. I'm like digging my car out for 40 minutes before practice, trying to get out, and then I'm battling through the roads. So it's been tough. Like I see someone on my window right now walking, and the snow piles are so high, just her head I could see above the snow.
That's brutal. That's brutal.
But anyway, I mean, I'm gonna go ahead to practice in a sec here. I'm gonna stop at Tim's. I'm gonna stop at one Tim's on the way, get my free coffee, and then stop at the Tim's near the rink and get one for the coach or something. And might as well just keep getting my free coffees as much as I can. I thought it was like one every day for 7 days, but it's just like you go for as many as you want for 7 days.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, but
you
it has to be like
around the drive-through.
What?
You could literally just loop around the drive-through a million times if you wanted to.
I would just keep pulling around. So I might do that, but yeah, I mean, maybe I'll take it away. Anything you want to say before I take it away, since you opened it up today?
Yeah, I want to just make predictions for the Super Bowl, like scores. So
Okay.
give me yours first.
Oh God, I think it's gonna be a high scoring game. I think we're due for a high scoring game. So relatively high score. I want to say 34-31 Bengals.
Okay, I was gonna say 28-24 Bengals.
Yeah, I'm going for an absolute offensive explosion. Your score might be more realistic, but I know I'm cheering for high score. I like a high scoring game. So hopefully it's close. Hopefully it's entertaining, and then Joe Burrow walks in and wins, and that guy from LSU carries him off the field again, whatever. You know his name?
Yeah. No, I don't know his name, but yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah. All right. And with that being said, yeah, hopefully we get a good week of weather, and the weatherman Cardsy can give us some sun and some warmth here. So it was a good episode. We appreciate you all for listening this far and the support, and we'll be back at it next week with another good one.